Good morning, Pookies. Okay, this is Monday morning for you, not for me. Okay, so we're going to start learning about argumentative text this week. You're going to hear from different teachers on it, but argumentative text to me sounded a lot like persuasive, and it kind of is a lot like persuasive, but one of the big differences I want you to keep in mind while we're talking about it is that it deals more with facts and information and data, whereas persuasion deals more with emotions and how you feel and what you think, and it pulls at your heartstrings. This one also sometimes offers you shows you the different side of what they're arguing about to give you a choice. So that's kind of the difference in argumentative and persuasive. So here's a little poster that I made to help you. So argumentative text. It's a text in which the author develops and defends a position or debates a topic using logic and persuasion. Debates, that word means to argue, which is argumentative text, and where I said it uses logic. So it uses logic instead of emotion to try to make their point, to try to get you to agree with what they're saying. So there's some characteristics or there's some specific traits about argumentative text that you can look for that are going to help you figure out what the author's talking about, what their claim is, what exactly they're wanting to make you agree with them about. So first, you're going to identify the genre. It's usually going to be nonfiction because they're trying to teach you something. The audience is who are they talking to? If they're talking about should we have tests every year in school, maybe they're talking to administrators. The topic is what are they talking about? If it is talking about tests, that's the topic and the purpose. Why did the author write this? The author wrote this so that you or whoever's reading it, the audience they're going to, maybe will think about what they're saying and might want to change their mind and do what they're saying. And also pay attention to what kind of text it is. Is it an advertisement? Like we see advertisements on TV that if you wear Axe cologne, all the girls will love you. Or if you buy this kind of car, how important you'll look in it when you're driving it. Or even down to what we're listening to right now is who to vote for president ads. Could it be a speech? You know, when Donald Trump gets up and gives a speech, or Joe Biden gives up and gives a speech. They're arguing for their cause that you should vote for them. Or an editorial, that's where you write into a newspaper about your thoughts and what you think, or you argue about something that you don't like or you didn't agree with. So that's the kind of text you're talking about. Also, you're going to look for what's the key idea and the supporting details. And to use that sometimes, you know, we can use our text features to figure out what they're talking about. Remember text features we learned last week? Caption, photograph, bold words, heading, italics, yada, yada, got that. Or text structure. And the text structure could be cause and effect. They might tell you, well, if you give the cause is the effect is kids get all upset about taking tests. The cause is you're giving them a test. Problem solution. The problem is kids are all unhappy and they're not doing well on the test. The solution is let's not give them any tests. So that's problem solution. They might describe it. Oh my gosh, this test doesn't really do what it's supposed to. It doesn't measure how smart they are. It just gets them all upset. Do you want kids all upset every day? So you can look at the text structure that the author uses and look at the key idea. What I mean by key idea is, what's the claim? What are they arguing about? And then they can't just say, okay, I don't think kids should have standardized tests. Well, okay, why? So you have to have details, supporting details, and we've learned this all year long. Supporting details is like text evidence, my dears. So give us some text evidence. If you're going to say you don't think that they should have tests, why? I need some data. I need some information. You need to let me know. You need to have supporting details or text evidence. And then the last thing about a characteristic of it is to summarize or paraphrase it. If you can summarize the article, that means you can show that you understand the author's message. So I'm gonna read one to you in a second, and we're gonna do it together. But this leads us towards writing. Oh, what's happening? This leads us towards writing because Friday you're gonna write an argumentative essay. And whenever you write it, my dears, you're going to have to pick you're going to make a claim. You're going to pick something that you want to argue about, and then you're going to have to give us supporting evidence of why you feel that way. So all this is going towards teaching you how to recognize an argumentative text when you read it, and then if you needed to, you'll be able to write an essay on argumentative text. Okay, so remember I told you it's a little bit different from persuasion because it gives both sides usually, doesn't have to, and it deals more with facts and information and not just emotion. It deals a lot with logic, and it makes a claim, and you have to realize what the claim is. What are they trying to get us to do? So that's our little beginning, our introduction to argumentative text. In the next video, I'm going to read to you a little story out of Storyworks. It's very short, and we'll talk about how that's an argumentative text. And we'll go through it together because you know that's how I work. I do everything with you, except I can't come to your house and do all this with you. But y'all are doing great. Okay, Pookies. Next video is me reading the Storyworks to you, and we'll go through it together. Bye.